Hey everybody, this is Mike, and I just got back from PAX Unplugged. This is my third or fourth year going, and like always, I'm doing a video of my top games. This year is special though because I took my son Harrison, he's 12, with me, and we basically played stuff together the entire convention. Like I think I counted 36 or 37 unique games over 40 play sessions. It was an awesome time. But I played a lot of great games. I'm going to talk about my top 10. These are competitive solo and co-op. I didn't just play solo and co-op games. As a bonus, Harrison will have his top 5 games at the convention. There are some crossovers there. But first, just to hype briefly a bit, there are a bunch of games that I didn't get to play or didn't get to play a full game of, so I'm not comfortable ranking them in my top 10, but I either got a review copy or I am supposed to get one in the coming year, and I'm really excited to play all of these, so let's talk through them real quick. So from Wise Wizards is Pack the Essentials. This is basically a polyomino competitive game with a solo mode where you're trying to pack cats into your luggage. I don't know, sounds fun to me. I like polyominoes a lot of the time. Next, also a game of packing, is Decorum Moving Out. This is the expansion to Decorum. It is only 2-player, but that was my favorite way to play the original co-op game. And this one, you're trying to pack cars and other vehicles and use bubble wrap. Seems like a lot of fun, and my son's really excited because he loved the original Decorum. Then from Czech Games Edition is SETI, the Search for Intelligent Life. I got to play a round or so of a competitive game of this, and it seemed awesome. Definitely gave me some Lost Ruins of Arnak vibes, so I'm really excited to play the solo mode of SETI in a little bit. Next is Galaxy Fighters. This is an upcoming game coming to crowdfunding next year. I only got to play a little bit of it, but it's very heavily inspired by Galaga and Space Invaders. Spaceships are coming towards you and the other players in this cooperative game, and you're trying to move your ships around with dice activation, fire all special powers, and use teleportation and stuff. Seems pretty cool. I'm going to give it a try next year. Another one I'm sure a lot of you have heard about is Revenant. This is in the same universe as Voidfall, coming from Mind Clash. Apparently the solo mode wasn't quite where they wanted it to be, so I'm not going to get to play this until I think probably the game is done or almost done. But I know the Mind Clash team is great, and I like the Voidfall setting, so very excited about Revenant. One that I got a review copy of on Sunday, today, is Backstories. This is a new line, apparently, from Lucky Duck. It's basically a choose-your-own-adventure, kind of like puzzle game with branching paths. I tend to love that stuff. But the reason it's called Backstories is because you have these cards represent tools with different parts of the card cut out. So, like, it could be your talking to people card has the top cut out, and your swinging a pickaxe at somebody has the middle carved out. And you put it on cards in the environment and flip them over, and the cutout will only show you the part that corresponds to the action you're taking. So it seems like a clever way to shrink down the giant books you can get in some of these kind of games and just have everything be card-based. Looks pretty neat, so I'm going to try that one out soon. That's Backstories. Another one from Lucky Duck that looks really fun is Toriki. This uses the QR code scanning of Destinies or Chronicles of Crime, but it's a sort of Robinson Crusoe-ish, family-friendly island survival exploration game. You're not going to starve or die of exposure here, but you're scanning tools to combine them together. Like, hey, I'm going to use these vines on these sticks to build a raft, that kind of thing. So it looks pretty fun to try. Then one of the ones I'm most excited about is Wandering Galaxies. This is the next one from Plaid Hat in the Forgotten Waters and Freelancers series, which are these cooperative but semi-competitive sometimes narrative adventures with really funny writing and dialogue where you're kind of placing yourselves in different spaces. This one, though, instead of die rolling, uses deck building and sort of card flipping for test resolution, which of course sounds even better to me, and I already like the old games, so that's Wandering Galaxies. Then we've got Ziggurat, a family-friendly legacy game where you're cooperatively climbing up this pyramid and trying to avoid pits and stuff. Looks pretty cool. Core of Discovery, I previewed that this year and adored it, and I got to see what the final version is going to look like. It's wood, it's beautiful, I'm really into it. That's Core of Discovery. The last one that I'll be doing upcoming coverage on, I think in 2025, is A Place for All My Books. And this has a really cute theme. You are a book lover, and you're kind of scared of other people sometimes, so you have to build up energy by completing little projects in your house, sort of polyomino-ish, to get the energy to go into town and buy more books. Just sounds like a good time, kind of a cozy game. But with the games that I didn't actually get to play at the con out of the way, let's get to my top 10 of games I actually did play. Again, these are some competitive, some cooperative. I'll identify which. So first at number 10 is Things in Rings. Jerry brought his copy of this one. You have these interlocking rings of different colors forming basically Venn diagrams, and you don't know what the rule of each colored ring is, but one player does, and you're putting out cards with objects on them, guessing which area they fit into, and then the person who knows the rules moves them, and you're basically trying to deduce what the real tutorial rules are. It was goofy fun. It was definitely challenging, but we had a good time. That's number 10, Things and Rings, competitive only. Number 9 was another competitive game, a bluffing game, Coyote. This is being distributed in English by Czech Game Edition, but I think it's Heidelberg originally, a German publisher. But this is a bluffing game where you can't see the card in front of you, but you can see everybody else's, and you're trying to guess what the sum of everybody's card is without going over, and you can call each other on their bluffs if they go too high based on the card that you can see. So that's Coyote. We had a lot of good fun with this. Again, it is competitive only. Number 8, a fully cooperative one coming next year is Miskatonic Tales. This is from Chaosium, who did Horror on the Orient Express, and this is basically Call of Cthulhu, the RPG, in a board game format. It actually is very similar in some ways to Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. You're moving around in different scenarios. They have a ton of reading. They had an app that read through it for us, so I imagine they might have that for the actual game. But then Action Resolution is a mix of card play, including to boost other players, and dice rolls. It was a good time. We got to shotgun some cultists, discover some things. Some of us got corrupted in our mind by Dagon. Just a fun time. That is Miskatonic Tales coming next year, and that is fully cooperative. My number 7 is maybe the one I was most excited about before the convention, and that is SkyTeam Turbulence, the first expansion for SkyTeam. I adore SkyTeam, and Turbulence is just more of it. It's a bunch more airports, a few new modules. There are penguins on some of the ones. We played through several of the new airports and loved them. I'll have a video of this one coming pretty soon. I just love it so much I want to film it quickly. But that is SkyTeam with the Turbulence expansion. That is cooperative. My number 6 game, also cooperative, is the newest Horrified World of Monsters. I never got to play the Greek Monsters one, but Colin from Meet Me at the Table, formerly at the One Stop Co-op Shop, said that this one and Greek Monsters were the best. They are fully compatible, so you can use monsters from each and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and Horrified is always a good time. This is basically the same system, but I think it's the best version of the system that they've done. I thought American Monsters was kind of a misstep, at least for my taste. So yeah, very excited to play Horrified World of Monsters more, and that is fully cooperative. My number 5 game is competitive and hilarious, although technically I guess all of the players could win, and that's called This Game is Killer. It's basically the movie Alien. You're moving to different locations. The alien will attack. It's pretty random, but the entire game takes between 3 and 5 minutes usually. You can betray each other. You can blow things up. You can send the alien out the airlock. It's just an awesome time. Really, really fun for a quick sort of, not really hidden traitor, but sort of like deductive trickery game. That is This Game is Killer, competitive. Number 4 is one I never heard of, but apparently it's out already from Asmodee. That is Dungeon Legends. This is fully cooperative. It's basically, I'll say, a cooperative Clank in that it's a very quick, simple deck building game, but with some fun theme behind it. Instead of trying to go into dungeons, steal artifacts, and get out, in Dungeon Legends, you're playing through different scenarios, and they seem quite varied. The one we were playing had a fire that you had to put out, so you had to go and like get buckets and then go back and put out the fire, but the whole time monsters are attacking in a very legendary-esque system in that they're moving down a row and you have to prevent them from getting off the end of the row. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun, good cooperative potential. The characters seemed quite varied. The deck building was pretty cool. A lighter deck builder, not anything super strategic. Again, I think Clank is the best kind of corollary in terms of weight, but that is Dungeon Legends, fully cooperative. Next, at number 3 is Microverse, which is an upcoming game from GMT designed by Sam London, who also did Firefight Tactical that I adored, another upcoming game from GMT. Microverse is a very quick 4X game. We played through a 6-player game with all new players learning the game in like 75 minutes, and it's got a really cool system of playing action cards and kind of chaining them together. You can negotiate and trade with each other, sort of Settlers of Catan style, and the alien races are super different. And although I didn't get to play it yet, Sam's description of the solo mode, so this is a solo competitive game, sounds friggin' great. So that is Microverse. Definitely check that one out when it's all ready. And my last 2 are competitive, but a ton of fun. And these are 2 of the 3 games I bought at the convention. This Game is Killer is the other one. Number 2 is Caution Signs, and this is basically a combination of So Clover and Telestrations. One clue guesser gets to guess while other people draw the worst drawings ever for a pair of cards, like Hungry Hippo, in 20 seconds, and they have to figure out which cards go with which people, with some false cards thrown in the mix. Just a ton of fun. We played this a whole bunch one of the nights with just a ton of people. You can play up to 9 players at once. So that is Caution Signs. It's competitive, although I will say you could just play it cooperatively and sort of total all your scores together and try to get the highest score together possible, because you're not really doing anything against each other. You're just trying to draw the best thing you can and hope that they guess correctly. And then finally, number 1, huge surprise, is Little Alchemist from Czech Game Edition. I played the original Alchemist and thought it was okay. This is a game where you're using an app to scan potion ingredients and try to figure out the theories of how the different potions work. And Little Alchemist is the new, more family-friendly version. And it's great because I play with my 12-year-old. The first game, you're playing like it's really simple, really basic, but then you slowly unlock more and more boxes, 7 in all, and the game gets way more complex. The logic it gets way more difficult. My son's eating it all up. He loves all of it, and I'm having a great time too. It's not like it feels like a dumb, like simplified game, but I know that I can play with my 9-year-old, just scaling it back to one of the earlier boxes and playing with these simpler rules because nothing is like destroyed or taken away from the game. We played it in the hotel room both Saturday and Sunday morning, just trying to open more of the boxes and see more of the stuff the game had to offer. So much fun. That is Little Alchemist, competitive but great. That's from Czech Game Edition. So that's my top 10, but let's go to my son Harrison for his first top list. He's been on the channel a few times before, but never doing a top 5. So here are his 5 favorite games from the con.
I'm Harrison. Today I'll be talking about my top 5 games that I played at PAX Unplugged. Number 5, Sky Team Turbulence. I liked that the penguins were basically just planes, but cuter penguins. Number 4, Microverse. In Microverse, I liked how you can spend extra movement cards to move extra. My dad used a bunch to move all the way across the board to an enemy that he was about to kill. And then I won, so he failed. Number 3 is Caution Signs. I would have won this game if one of my dad's friends had drawn a better skunk jumping. Number 2, this game is killer. I liked that in this game you could be a corporate spy and just turn off life support, get a sample of the alien, and then run away. That's what I did the first time I played, and I lost because I was with my dad, who killed me. My number 1 pick is Little Alchemists, and I liked this game because of the variety of potions and ingredients. I also liked how you get to scan things with your phone. It's very cool. All
right, everybody, thanks for watching. The con was fun, but it's great to be back home. I'm going to go review some things and then play Iridia because the review copy of that came in while I was gone. But have a great week, everyone. We'll see you at the next stop.